Here is an Australian midnight call. Excuse me, I'm a burping a little bit because I'm a little tired and I'm a little afraid, as the world is getting a little afraid there. The Democrats, or Democrats, as I like to call them, they try to show how better it was under Biden rather than Easter under Mr. Trumpy. And then Trumpy has liberated half of the Middle East right at this point, has Iran reeling in almost the thing, and has had a major war in which we have almost have no casualties, and the enemy is barely surviving. Yet the dumb Democrats call that a loss because we got no plan. Unlike Mr. Obama had a plan to give many money, millions and billions to the Iranians, thinking we're going to make nice with them and they'll be nice with us because, they don't want to kill all the Jews and destroy Christianity and all the other religions that compete with their distorted version of Islam. Well, let me tell you something. If the current leadership doesn't give up, and that we're going to bomb them to oblivion. Now, the Iranian people, they feel bad about because they're good people and they're rebelling. They're uprising against these guys. What we got to do is give them guns and see if the guns like he were legal. The Iranian government would have gotten away with this. There would have been resistance. But no, they're the only ones with the guns. That's why the government can only just be the guys with the guns. That's why gun control is wrong. Let me tell you something. They did a video of Biden at the White House with the Easter Bunny, which was a agent of the government. I was in a circle saying, "Hey, Biden, you brain dead bastard, don't go and run around." Well, he looked at the bunny and he thought it was real, because he was at that age, the age of fulfillment of the brain. Ay, 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 cry foul. Look what we're doing here. We have a perfectly nice park, and we're not going to renovate it because we don't want to disturb the little birdies. Little birdies found another home. They will. They don't need they don't need that. Hey, let me tell you something. There's too much environmentalism going on here. Birdies. Birdies will fly someplace else to dock their little birdie asses. And anyway, why are we bowing to the bird watcher community? What the hell are they? A bunch of nerds. Collect comic books, for God's sakes. Be a decent person. They're on the wrong side of 60 minutes, which was a rat's nest from what I hear. This man who worked with them, they're liberals. In their personal lives, they're horrors. Then they want the world to be nice, nice. They're not nice, nice. You're not nice, nice. The world ain't nice, nice, you bastards. Let's just say, throw it to the wolves. This was a little bit of what you call your parents not paying attention to their parents, the kids. The kid was like playing with the wolves, right? Now, why these cages are good enough or small enough that a little hand can go through them, I don't know. But she's playing with the wolves. The parents are there with their little phones, and the wolf grabs on the hand of the baby because it's mealtime. Well, but the wolf, maybe the wolves were not nasty because they didn't hurt the baby, but it was, the cat. They didn't shoot the wolf. Thank God. Oh my God, the wolves. Because he was just doing what a wolf does. You know, he said, what the hell? That's just an hors d'oeuvre. This is Philly Magnani. Yeah, it's true. What's going on here? A lot of people are fleeing. They're fleeing the country. The people who don't want to pay a higher tax in New York City are fleeing to Florida. And the commies who don't want to pay their student loan back are fleeing to Kennedy. Let me tell you something. To flee out of New York is going to hurt us a lot. And the liberals are destroying the country. They want to make a law in which you can tax anybody anywhere they go. It's called communism. Taxation without representation is not such a good situation, as I say. Oh yeah, abuse tools. There's something called the Munchausen syndrome, where you get a kid and you make him sick. You give him food, you don't let you confine him in a bed. You do all kinds of things. Well, this woman had the munch-ups, and they suspected it. Now she's not throwing the kids to the wolves, but it's not too good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Biden, what is this, the governor of California, what a wimpy weirdo guy. And his wife is even worse. She took the kids to Alabama or Louisiana, show them what real racism is. As if, because they were conservatives in that state and they're a red state, not under the blues. Well, he's such a big, there's nothing worse than a Bolshevik billionaire. Oh, yeah, yeah, they're terrible. They want to do bad things. Top is a predator. Now, apparently, if you're a Democrat, you can molest everybody. And if you're a minority, you can even molest more. That's the law of the land according to the communists, and they're banned. We got them. We did something beautiful. It was an Easter surprise. We rescued our soldiers. We rescued and they were behind enemy lines. They did very well. The Democrats don't even acknowledge that because they don't acknowledge miracles because they're atheists. They believe in, or if they do believe in a God, it's a ball. It's their own balls that they believe in. They got big ones too. Let me tell you something. Mm. Taking, what's that? What's that? Taking like over. Yeah, the biggest companies in New York are getting out of here. And they're gonna try to, make it so they can't. That's the thing. There's all kinds of little tax laws in different pieces of the country. They won't get away with it. They destroy the city, though, that commie bastard. Two killed for protesting. This is what's going on in Iran. And we got to put an end to it. The kids were protesting against the government there, and they get hung. Well, let me tell you something. I would say we hung the Iranian leadership, but ain't going to be enough of them. They're getting blown to bits. They should take their bodies and take them and hung them too, just to double check. No, that's a big space. They got a toilet. The toilet's not just malfunctioning in New York. Not New York, in the space station. Used to be they just had tubes for them, but they got a kid to the ladies. Ladies like toilets. They don't want to be there, but apparently they threw something down the toilet and now it's stuffed up and it's floating in the air. Civilization comes to space and they're pretty. Yeah, that's what's going on. New doubt on what? Never doubt the United States might. We get from the Strait of Trumpese to the Gulf of America and soon to be 51st state uh, Greenland, America's flexiest muscle. And let's be imperialists. What's wrong with being imperialists? No, I don't understand. The English are going, oh, we're sorry, we're imperialists. Ooh. And they're like, these people in that don't want to be in the government or against government. Nobody who's a Marxist should be allowed in this country. Civil Liberties Union was founded on defending the commies who were into the violent overthrow of the government. Get some of those bastards out. AOC, well, AOC goes full tilt. AOC is an anti-Semite. That's obvious. Because she don't even want the Israelis to have missiles to defend themselves with. They just want shit the ones the Israelis to die. She is an anti-Semite, deep down. And Buddy comes is a self-hating Jew. Whew. There's no other explanation for this. You know, biblically, the foundation of the world is biblical. The Israelis are entitled to that land because God gave it to them. If the land was God, then he can do anything he wants. He gave them that land, and then they wanted to promote a fair and square war. They were outnumbered 10-1 by the Palestinians and their allies. They lost. They've been as nice as they could be, considering the pride of the Islam was a hurt, and they can never forgive. You gotta forgive because it's not working out. But if Trump is going to do a miracle, he's going to unite Iran He's gonna throw the Muslim invaders, not the Muslim good people, but the Muslim invaders out of the news. That's what's gonna happen. And I gotta go. But before I go, I'm gonna sing a song, even though I'm getting a little thirsty now. There once was a man named Trump who scared and gave liberals goosebumps. He's as strong as an ox, and he's a man for me. He's Trumpy, Trumpy, yes sirree. He has a comb over, it's true, and hips that quite wide, yes. But he eats like me and talks like me. He's Trumpy, can't you guess? Oh, once there was a liberal man. He was scared of Trump, you see. He calls them losers, and he could see through that they were losers true. Oh, Trumpy, 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 I love you all so much, and you will be president of the world, and the liberals will go kaput.